The Roman Empire. At its peak, it seemed unbeatable, one of the largest empires the world has ever seen. It fended off military foes, built a vast administrative state, and ruled regions from Egypt to Spain, from England to modern-day Iraq. For centuries, it seemed eternal, but today it's a distant memory. Why did it fall? Was it conquered by an invincible enemy, torn apart by internal strife, or simply stretched too thin? The truth is more complicated. Rome didn't collapse overnight, it fell slowly over hundreds of years. It all began in the Republic. Rome had moved on from its flawed monarchy, but the people sought stronger, unified leadership. Julius Caesar answered that call. He became popular, militarily successful, and ultimately a perpetual dictator. His rise worried Rome's elite, so they assassinated him. Instead of preserving the Republic, this act triggered civil war. In the end, Caesar's adopted son, Octavian, emerged victorious. He conquered Egypt, consolidated power, and became Rome's first emperor, Augustus. The Republic was gone, replaced by a monarchy with a hunger for conquest. Rome expanded across Europe, Africa, and Asia. Provinces were semi-autonomous, administered by local governors. For 2 centuries, this system worked, Pax Romana. But trouble was brewing beneath the surface. Religion shifted. Traditional Roman polytheism, with its capricious gods, faced a challenge: Christianity. Born from the teachings of Jesus, the new faith spread quietly at first, often persecuted but resilient. Meanwhile, political chaos simmered. In 177 CE, 15-year-old Commodus became emperor. Reckless, vain, obsessed with gladiatorial games, he destabilized Rome. After his assassination, the empire plunged into the year of the 5 emperors, civil wars, assassinations, bribery, and chaos. Rome's provinces began to question the empire itself. Some declared independence, forming the Gallic and Palmyrene empires. The crisis nearly destroyed Rome, but emperors like Aurelian reunited the territories, reinforced defenses, and restored stability. Diocletian and Constantine continued reforms. Diocletian strengthened administration and courts. Constantine expanded the empire and embraced Christianity, reshaping Rome's cultural and religious landscape. Yet even with these reforms, trouble persisted. After Constantine's death in 337 CE, civil war returned. Corrupt officials, rebellious provinces, and overextended armies weakened the empire internally. Externally, the threat grew. The Huns pushed Gothic tribes into Roman territory. Rome's military, once supreme, struggled to respond. Refugees became insurgents, mercenaries lacked loyalty. Borders collapsed slowly, territory by territory. By 395 CE, the empire formally split. The Eastern Empire, the Byzantine Empire, endured. Its capital, Constantinople, would survive another 1,000 years. But the Western Empire, including Rome itself, was vulnerable. Over the next 80 years, barbarian invasions and weak leadership eroded Roman power. The army, once invincible, became overstretched and unreliable. And then, in 476 CE, the final blow. Odoacer deposed Romulus Augustulus, the last Western emperor. Rome had fallen, not with a bang, but a slow unraveling. Yet Rome's legacy lived on. Its greatest institution, the Roman Catholic Church, continued, spreading across Europe and holding power for centuries. After Odoacer deposed the last Western emperor in 476 CE, Rome was no longer the center of a unified empire. What remained was a patchwork of territories, ruled by local leaders and invading tribes. The Western Roman Empire had fragmented, but its culture, law, and institutions didn't vanish overnight. Roman cities slowly declined. Trade routes collapsed as security vanished, and many people fled to rural areas. Urban life, once vibrant and bustling, shrank dramatically. Roads fell into disrepair, aqueducts crumbled, and public buildings decayed. The infrastructure that had made Rome great was now a shadow of its former self. Meanwhile, Germanic and other barbarian groups settled across former Roman territory. The Ostrogoths in Italy, the Visigoths in Spain, and the Franks in Gaul began to establish their own kingdoms. These newcomers weren't mere conquerors. They adapted Roman laws, traditions, and even administrative practices. In many ways, they became the heirs to the empire, blending Roman civilization with their own cultures. Perhaps the most enduring Roman legacy was the Church. With the collapse of imperial authority, the Roman Catholic Church filled the power vacuum. Bishops became local leaders, monasteries preserved knowledge, and Christianity became a unifying force in an increasingly fragmented Europe. Without Rome's emperors, the Pope emerged as one of the most influential figures in the West. The Eastern Roman Empire, known later as Byzantium, continued to flourish. Constantinople remained a political and economic powerhouse, defending Roman traditions for another 1,000 years. Greek replaced Latin as the primary language, but the administrative and military genius of Rome persisted. Back in the West, military decline continued. The Roman legions that had once conquered the known world were replaced by mercenary forces with little loyalty. When new threats emerged, from the Vandals in North Africa to the Saxons in Britain, Rome struggled to respond effectively. Each loss of territory weakened central authority further. Yet even in decline, Rome shaped the future. Its legal system influenced the laws of medieval Europe. Latin became the language of scholarship and diplomacy. Roman engineering, roads, bridges, aqueducts, remained vital infrastructure for centuries. In the end, the Western Roman Empire didn't disappear in a single moment. It crumbled slowly, politically, militarily, and economically, but its legacy endured. Rome's fall wasn't just a story of conquest or invasion, it was a transformation. Civilization itself carried forward the ideas, structures, and faith of Rome into the Middle Ages and beyond. With Rome's political power gone, Europe entered a new era, one historians call the early Middle Ages. Yet the fall of the Western Roman Empire didn't mean the end of Roman influence. Its systems, its cities, and its culture would quietly shape the continent for centuries to come. The physical infrastructure of Rome, roads, aqueducts, and bridges, remained vital. Even in decay, these structures allowed trade, communication, and travel to continue. Local rulers maintained what they could, sometimes repurposing Roman buildings into fortresses, churches, or markets. Rome had created a blueprint for civilization, and it endured in fragmented pieces. The church became the glue holding society together. Monasteries preserved Roman literature, law, and philosophy, copying manuscripts and teaching literacy to a new generation. Christianity spread throughout Europe, becoming more than a faith. It was a governing force, guiding moral codes, education, and politics. Rome may have fallen as a state, but its spiritual and cultural legacy grew stronger. The former Roman provinces were not empty for long. Germanic tribes established kingdoms atop Roman foundations. They borrowed Roman law, urban planning, and military organization to legitimize their rule. The Franks in Gaul, for example, fused Roman administration with their own tribal structure, setting the stage for the future kingdom of France. Rome's institutions survived, even under foreign rulers. Political power became localized. Strong kings or lords replaced emperors, and Europe fragmented into territories often smaller than a single Roman province. Yet these rulers relied on Roman concepts of governance, taxation, and military structure. In a sense, Rome had transformed from an empire to a model of order that could be adapted to new societies. Economically, trade shifted but never disappeared. Mediterranean commerce persisted, connecting the remnants of Roman cities. Even distant lands, Britain, North Africa, and the Iberian Peninsula, remained tied together by networks first established by Rome. Roads that had carried legions now carried merchants and ideas. Education and language kept the Roman identity alive. Latin remained the language of law, religion, and scholarship, serving as a bridge across fragmented kingdoms. The knowledge of Roman engineering, military tactics, and governance trickled down to medieval rulers, shaping castles, armies, and civic structures. Rome fell as a political entity, but its influence was indelible. Its armies, laws, roads, and faith seeded the Europe that would rise from the ashes of its empire. The Western Empire may have crumbled, but Rome's ideas became immortal, guiding kings, scholars, and architects for centuries. Even centuries after the last Roman emperor fell, the empire's impact continued to ripple through history. Rome didn't just shape its own time, it laid the foundation for the modern world. One of Rome's greatest gifts was its legal system. Roman law introduced concepts we still rely on today: contracts, property rights, and the principle that the law applies to all citizens. Medieval kings and modern governments alike drew from these ideas, shaping justice systems that endure across the globe. Architecture and engineering also bore Rome's mark. The aqueducts, roads, and bridges of ancient Rome became blueprints for medieval and modern infrastructure. The use of arches, vaults, and domes inspired churches, government buildings, and even modern stadiums. Rome's city planning and urban organization became a model for cities for centuries to come. Roman literacy and scholarship survived through monasteries and universities. Latin became the lingua franca of education and science for over a millennium. Thinkers, philosophers, and scientists in medieval Europe built upon Roman knowledge, preserving mathematics, astronomy, and medicine that might have otherwise been lost. Military organization was another enduring legacy. Even after Rome's legions disappeared, their strategies and formations inspired future armies. Concepts like disciplined units, fortified camps, and supply lines informed medieval knights and Renaissance military leaders. Rome didn't just fight wars, it taught the art of warfare for centuries. Politically, Rome's experiments with the Republic provided a model for modern governance. Concepts like senates, checks and balances, and representative councils traced directly back to Roman systems. The struggles of Roman citizens for power and accountability echo in democratic institutions around the world today. Culturally and spiritually, Rome's greatest legacy may be the Church. Christianity, once a small persecuted sect, became a global faith under Roman influence. The Catholic Church shaped art, education, politics, and morality for centuries. Even as political empires rose and fell, the Church carried Rome's vision of order, law, and civilization into the modern age. Rome fell as an empire, but it never truly disappeared. Its laws, ideas, roads, buildings, and faith survived, guiding civilizations long after the last emperor left the throne. Rome's story is a reminder, even in collapse, greatness can endure, not as a state, but as a legacy. The story of Rome isn't just one of battles, emperors, and collapsing walls. It's a story about resilience, adaptation, and the enduring power of ideas. Even after its political structures crumbled, Rome's influence continued to shape societies in ways that are often invisible, but unmistakable. Rome perfected the art of infrastructure. Its roads, bridges, and aqueducts didn't just connect cities, they connected civilizations. Modern engineers still study Roman techniques for durability and efficiency. In many ways, every road we drive on, every water system we rely on, carries a piece of Rome. Rome's approach to civic life also left its mark. Public spaces, forums, and marketplaces were designed to encourage debate, commerce, and civic engagement. Today, town squares, legislative chambers, and urban planning echo these ancient designs, reminding us that society thrives when people are connected and ideas flow freely. Education and philosophy were pillars of Roman culture. Beyond preserving Greek thought, Roman thinkers emphasized law, ethics, and rhetoric. Their writings became guides for leadership, public service, and civic responsibility. Even centuries later, students in law schools and universities continue to study concepts first articulated in Rome. Rome's military strategies still inform modern tactics. Discipline, logistics, and adaptability were hallmarks of the legions, and centuries of warfare would borrow directly from their playbook. Rome showed that power isn't just about size, it's about organization, planning, and foresight. Spiritually, Rome's greatest legacy may have been the way it shaped institutions. The rise of Christianity under Roman influence didn't just change faith, It changed culture, law, and governance. Monasteries preserved knowledge, bishops influenced politics, and the church became a stabilizing force as kingdoms emerged from the empire's collapse. Even our systems of government reflect Rome. Concepts like codified laws, representative councils, and civic duty stem from Roman models of organization. Democracy in its many forms owes part of its DNA to experiments first attempted in the Roman Republic. In short, Rome never truly left. It didn't vanish with Odoacer or the last Western emperor. Instead, it evolved. Its stones became the foundations of new civilizations, its laws the templates for governance, and its culture a lens through which we understand power, society, and human ambition. Rome's story is a lesson. Empires fall, armies crumble, and governments collapse, but ideas endure. From roads to laws, from architecture to faith, Rome continues to shape the world around us, quietly, persistently, and profoundly. So here's a question for you. Which part of Rome's legacy do you think has had the biggest impact on our world today? Its law, its architecture, its military, or its culture? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. We'd love to hear your perspective. Rome fell, yet it never truly vanished. Its empire may have been gone, but the echoes of its power still resonate. Beyond laws and roads, Rome shaped ideas about civilization, leadership, and human ambition that survive even today. From the coins in our pockets to the inscriptions etched into monuments, Rome's imprint is everywhere. Its symbols, like the eagle, the laurel wreath, and the fasces, remind us of authority, triumph, and order. They quietly influence governments, armies, and even art across the globe. Knowledge was Rome's quiet weapon. Philosophers, historians, and engineers documented every aspect of their society. Centuries later, scholars rediscovered these works, blending Roman understanding with new ideas. Medicine, architecture, and governance all carry Rome's fingerprints, proof that the fall of an empire doesn't mean the end of its wisdom. Even the spaces where we debate, trade, and govern trace back to Roman design. Civic life, the notion of public service, and structured legal codes are all lessons Rome passed on, lessons that continue to guide nations today. But there's another layer. Rome wasn't just about what it built. It was about what it taught humanity about power, ambition, and hubris. Empires rise, civilizations crumble, yet ideas endure. And sometimes those ideas come back in ways no one could have predicted. The question remains, if the empire's greatest legacy is invisible in culture, law, and thought, then what other legacies might lie hidden, waiting to resurface? What if Rome in some form is not gone at all, quietly guiding the world from the shadows? Rome left the world with a mystery, its power gone, but its spirit lingering, shaping every city, law, and idea that followed. And maybe, just maybe, the story of Rome isn't over. If you enjoyed this journey through history, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories from the past that still shape our world today. Rome fell, but somewhere in stone and shadow its whispers remain. Are you listening?